ladies and gentlemen. Your teacher, Mr. Pelzer, has asked me to address you on the subject of what it's like to live with the disease of alcoholism. This being a first for me, I would like to put myself in a setting that makes me more comfortable. That being, let's pretend we are at an AA meeting. AA stands for Alcoholics Anonymous, if you didn't know that. And you are the other attendees, and it's your day to sit and listen to my story. So we begin. My name is Beth, and I'm an alcoholic. It has been 18 years and 9 months since my last drink. Come to think of it, that's longer than probably most of you've been alive, right? But then, I digress. On. Both of my parents were alcoholics. That made the possibility of me being an alcoholic when I was born at 100%. My parents were divorced, due mainly to alcohol, when I was 7 years old and my brother was 8. My father got custody of us, and that was just unheard of at that time. And we went to live with my grandmother. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. My grandmother was a very, very strict woman. And actually, she probably helped save my life, but that's another story in and of itself. She raised us until I graduated from high school. I graduated from high school at the age of 17. I was awarded a scholarship to attend college in California. So at the age of 17, off I was going to the West Coast. Can you imagine? I'd only been in Omaha, Nebraska. That's the biggest town I'd ever been in. And they set me loose in California. At 17 years old, I attended my first beach party. That is also when I became an active alcoholic with my first drink. I thought it was wonderful. It was fantastic. I drank socially, except when I was pregnant with my children, and probably only then because it made me sick to my stomach, for years. I worked full-time most of my adult life, and I got to the point where about 3:30 in the afternoon, I couldn't wait to get off work at 4:30 or 5 to go to happy hour. The word hour soon turned into hours, plural. I loved it. Loved it. I miss my kids' extracurricular activities. We're talking plays, concerts, ball games, whatever. In other words, I gave up my children for my fun. First of all, that's a total lie. I wasn't having fun. I was getting drunk. And they weren't my friends. They were my drinking buddies. This went on for years. Because of alcohol, my marriage dissolved after almost 20 years. I did get custody of my children, who were 18 and 13 years old at the time. My son, being college age, was off to school and doing his own thing. But my daughter was in high school, was 13, or 14, whatever she was. And she lived with me, or existed with me, until she turned 18. I still worked full-time, and during that entire period of time, she worked 3 part-time jobs all the way through high school and college to make ends meet. I did make a decision, one of the very few good decisions I made during that time. That when I got a divorce, I would not marry, live with, or anything of that nature another man until my daughter had graduated and was gone. But I did meet a man whom I dated for 5 years. He was one of the best influences on my daughter. It was a true blessing. He'll play a much bigger role later in the story. It became obvious 2 months after I was married to my new husband, to my employers, that I needed help, and they insisted that I go to rehab for 30 days or lose my job. And my husband agreed that I did need help. So on January the 11th, 1993, I checked into the hospital, the rehab hospital, Richard Young, and I've never been so frightened in my life as when I watched my husband get on that elevator and leave me there all alone with all these people who I thought were my enemies, sincerely enemies. Rehab. Oh, that's an experience. My counselor's name was Bill. He had 3 doctorate degrees. And he also looked like the biggest, meanest, baddest Hell's Angel you can picture. He was covered with tattoos, ponytail, wore leather, and he had muscles everywhere. I mean, it scared the bejeebies out of you. Honest to goodness. Probably one of my best influences in my life. Most of the 30 days at rehab consisted of getting up between 5:30 and 6 in the morning, having breakfast. And then at 7 o'clock you started group therapy. Group therapy was until 11:30. Then you had lunch. And at 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock you had one-on-one counseling with either your counselor or your doctor, whoever they deemed you needed to see. From 2:30 to 5:30, group therapy again. 5:30 to 6:30 or so, you had supper. At 7 o'clock in the evening till 9 o'clock, you went to AA meetings. 9 o'clock back to your room to read, if there wasn't TV, and go to bed. And then the next morning you got up and you started and did it all over again. And you talk about intense, you just can't imagine. Of course, the day that stands out in my mind was the day of my session. That was the day I got knocked off of my throne being the queen of denial, when my counselor Bill looked me square in the eye and he said, "Beth, you're a drunk. You're no better than the man laying out there in the street, passed out in the gutter." Now this was as if the man had thrown a bucket of ice water in my face, or hit me with a sledgehammer right between the eyes. Because you see, it was the truth. The honest to goodness truth. Then came the dreaded family week. Now that's when your loved ones, your family members, get to come and tell you exactly what they thought of you, what you'd done to them, the pain you'd caused them. And all you could do is sit there and know that everything they said to you and about you was true. It was horrific. And to this day, I can see my daughter and my husband's faces. As they sat there in front of everybody, ripping not only me, but themselves apart, revealing the torment that they'd been living with. And that torment was me. Me. It was that day that I swore to myself I would never take another drink of alcohol. And 18 years and 9 months later, I've kept that promise. It was also the day that I became a recovering alcoholic. That is the term that I use for a drunk who has quit drinking alcohol. So by this time in my life, I had helped kill one marriage, helped to almost kill a career, killed the love and relationship with my daughter, and almost killed the love and marriage of to the most fantastic man, the love of my life. It has taken a lot of work to establish a relationship with my daughter, my son, and my husband. Not only of love, but to try and gain their respect and their trust again. Trust. What a word. I cannot change the past. I can only control what I do today and hopefully in the future. It sincerely is one day at a time for me, and remembering, for me, this helps, that I don't think I'd look very good out there laying in that gutter. No one does. No one does. There is no cure for alcoholism. It's with you for life. The only thing you can do is quit drinking. You only have to give up one thing. One thing. For all these wonderful things to come into your life. It's literally amazing. You give up one thing. This is a very brief explanation of my life as an alcoholic. I suffer from an illness that I consider worse than cancer, of which I've had twice, but that's another story. And it's worse because it doesn't kill just you. It kills love. It kills careers. It kills marriages. And it can literally kill other people if you get behind the wheel of a car and hit someone, an innocent person, and kill them. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I would like to beg any and all of you, if you know someone, or you yourself think you need help, please seek it through a friend, a teacher, a minister, your principal, anyone you think can help you will. Please try. At the end of most AA meetings, we say the Serenity Prayer. at the end of our meeting, I'm going to change that up. I'm going to end the anonymous part of this meeting by introducing myself. I am Beth Joy Henderson Layson Haneline. But to most of you that I am addressing today, you probably know me better as McKay's mom, your principal. I thank you for your time. And now, on to questions. Let me have them.